raise your hand if you always say yes to your boss, friends, family members, spouse, whenever they will ask you to do something, even if it's inconvenient to you or at the expense of your own needs. Yep, I used to be guilty of that, but not anymore. So let's define who a people pleaser is. A people pleaser is someone who consistently put other people's needs at the expense of theirs. Okay, this person finds it difficult to say no, and they always almost do things they don't want to do just so they don't look bad. Okay, I used to do this all the time, but not anymore. Okay, so people pleasing can be rooted in a number of factors, okay, which includes childhood experience, trauma, and social conditioning. Okay, so in this video we are going to deep dive on the root causes of people pleasing to help you find out where your people pleasing tendencies is coming from. Okay, and guess what, you're also going to know where mine came from, because I'm going to share that with you guys. All right, so if you haven't subscribed to Marian B's channel, make sure you subscribe. If you're new to Marian B's channel, welcome. On this channel we learn, we grow, we heal, and most importantly, we break generational curses. Okay, so let's get right into the video. We are going to start with the first factor, which is childhood experiences. Okay, with childhood experience, we have growing up in a dysfunctional home. Okay, so kids who become caregivers to their parents or to family members. This happens if suddenly parents become disabled, or this also happens if parents become, or parents are drug addicts or alcohol abusers. So this kid who is supposed to be a kid now becomes parent to their parent, because they now get on survival mode, looking out for their parent. Oh my God, is my parent gonna get intoxicated? Are they, you know, gonna pass out from drinking too much alcohol? And they just now get out of their being a kid zone into adulthood prematurely. Also, for kids who have to raise their siblings, okay, this happens unfortunately when there is a passing of a parent or a caregiver, or in single parenthood homes where the mom is not able to do, the mom or dad, sorry, is not able to, you know, carry through with all the responsibilities, or in families where there are a lot of kids, a lot of siblings, so the older sibling has to take the responsibility of helping raise the other siblings. Okay, so in this type of household or dysfunctional home, these kids learn to prioritize other people's needs. Okay, they learn from childhood that taking care of other people's needs and neglecting themselves is more important, and these kids will grow up with this behavior until they begin to heal, learn, and do their research and so forth. Okay, also under childhood experience comes emotional unavailable households. Okay, so these are kids who grew up in homes where their parents or their caregivers were emotionally unavailable. So guess where I fall under? Yep. I grew up in an emotionally unavailable home. Guys, before I continue this, please give grace to your parents, give grace to your caretakers, because they raised us the best possible way they knew how to. Okay, so always give them grace, no judgment. All right, so continuing with that, so with me, growing up, my mom had to move to the United States for greener pastures, for jobs. Y'all know what it is. So me and my brother, we had to live with our dad for a little bit before we moved to family members and then to the States. Okay, so now digging deeper, my dad was raised by a teenage mom without his dad, and his dad will come back into his life later on. Okay, his dad will travel out the country, whatever, and then come back to his life later on. So my dad lacked that emotional support from his parents, because you can only imagine a teen mom who is a kid trying to raise another kid. That's really challenging, almost impossible to be able to fully provide emotionally, mentally, physically, financially to a child when you are a child yourself. Okay, so growing up with my dad, he was emotionally unavailable. It's not his fault, that's how he was raised. So my relationship with my dad was really strict. Your school fees are paid for, you are financially taken care of, that is it. Strict, wear this dress, go to church, do this, do that, that's it. There was no emotional connection. There was no that father-daughter relationship where there was like these affirmations of, my daughter, you are beautiful, you are protected, I love you, you know, I'll give you the world, there's nobody out there that can do what I can do for you. And this type of emotional connection where I would feel free to express myself to my dad. I'll be free to share my ideas, my suggestions. There was none of that. So my dad was really strict, and he would, you know, kind of be angry when things doesn't go their way. So I always felt like I needed to walk on eggshells. Okay, so at home I was a different type of person, and then outside in school or whatever I was totally different. At home I was this angel, innocent, trying to not, you know, step on my dad's eggshells. And then outside I was bubbly, I was nutty, I was fun, I was fashion, like I loved fashion, I like wearing short dresses, tight dresses, all of that. But at home I dare not. Okay, so growing up like this, I felt the need to fill this void from outside validation. Okay, so this will cause me to have low self-esteem, fear rejection and abandonment, and like I said already, seek validation from outside. So this will create a pattern in my mostly romantic relationship and sometimes my friendships. Okay, so I would date men who will be emotionally unavailable, because what? That is what I knew. I didn't know any better. So that's how I found out about my attachment style. Did I say attachment style? About my where my people pleasing came from. Okay, it was only when I started digging deep, I started doing research, and I started taking accountability. I stopped pointing fingers at the other person. Why do men do this? Why do these do that? Why did this friend do that? It was time for me to take accountability of my own life. Okay, so I did a couple of things, and now I'm going to say, when we say therapy doesn't always mean going to someone to pay someone to talk to. Okay, there's different forms and a lot of free forms of therapy. Number one therapy, guess what it is? Watching videos and learning. Watching videos like this that I'm putting out and learning from it. That could be therapy, because if you can relate and you can put the puzzles together, to me that's therapy. Okay, so start becoming self-aware, start digging deep, start finding out about you, finding out about your parents, how they were raised, how you were raised, because what we're gonna do is break generational curses. Okay, we're gonna raise our kids in a healthy, happy home, period. Okay, y'all, let's move on to the next. So still on the childhood experience, we have praise and positive affirmations to kids that will be extremely obedient, kids that will say nothing, kids that will do exactly what they are told. All right, which is not really a bad thing, but this same positive, you know, this same compliments or reinforcements will not be provided or given when kids will offer suggestions, will offer ideas. Growing up in an African home, as a kid, you were supposed to zip it up. Even if you were right, you were supposed to not even talk. And that is really, really bad. This is how kids grow up, not wanting to open up, not wanting to express themselves, not wanting to confront or stand up for themselves when they are being bullied, when they are being taken advantage of. And unfortunately, you'll be surprised that there are adults who still cannot speak up for themselves, who still do not know how to resolve conflicts, okay? And this will show up in most relationships and workplace, and also when this person is raising up their kids. This is why, man, I'm coming for y'all. I'm coming for y'all. Most men do not know how to, let me not generalize it. Some men, okay, some men and some women do not know how to express their needs, express themselves, you know. Be real with your partners. Hey, you know, that thing that you did, it was not good, babe. You need to step it up. Step it the fuck up. Okay, and this is how your partner learns that they need to do better, or they learn that, oh, you know, this was not good enough. Okay, so people end up holding a lot in and not being able to speak up. All right, so that is it for childhood experiences. We are going to move on to traumas. Okay, traumas. So people who go through abuse or experience growing up in abusive homes or experience abusive relationship tend to people please to avoid harm. They people please to avoid harm, to avoid conflict, okay? Because this is their coping mechanism, and this will eventually become their lifestyle, okay? They will be afraid of they will be afraid of confrontations. They will be afraid to speak up for themselves, and they will be afraid of conflicts, okay? These types of people will often hold a lot of resentment, a lot of frustrations, okay? Because they just do not know how to express themselves, or they feel like expressing themselves is gonna get them in trouble, which is not the case, okay? The only time that happens is when you're with an abusive person and you need to get the hell out, okay? So yes, people who, if you've been traumatized, if you've been in an abusive relationship, if you were raised by narcissistic parents, then you fall under this category, and you might be like this without even realizing it. So take a look and see where you fall under and start doing the work, okay? Alrighty, we're gonna move on to the third factor, which is social conditioning. All right, some cultural backgrounds, cultural upbringings, you know, saying yes means you are a good person, you are a nice person. Saying yes at the expense of your own needs, saying yes if it means that, you know, you have to sacrifice everything, means you're the best, you're so good, wow, what a great person. But I'm here to tell you that that is a misconception, that is not how you should live your life, okay? You do not need, who did nice person help? So an example will be in society, right? When parents will prioritize their kids and neglect themselves, neglect their marriage, neglect their needs, they are seen as great parents, you know, awesome parents. When a parent will try to balance out taking care of their kids while meeting their own needs, you know, enjoying themselves as well, they are seen as a, oh, this parent is, I don't know how this parent is being able to raise those kids because they having too much fun. I'm here to tell you that you need to find balance in prioritizing yourself, your spouse, the time you spend with your spouse, meeting the needs of yourself and your spouse, and then your kids, okay? Because your kid needs you to be your best self. Your kid needs you to be in a happy environment. Your kid needs you when you're mentally sane, healthy, and stable, okay? So do not let society fool you into thinking that neglecting yourself means you're a good person or means you're a nice person. Because how can you pour from an empty cup? Does that even make sense? What are you pouring from an empty cup, honey? Your imaginations, your dreams? Okay, that being said, please always make sure your cup is filled before you start pouring into others. Also, women, I'm coming for y'all, okay? Just because you are married, just because you're in a relationship, just because you have kids, doesn't mean you should neglect yourself. The things that used to bring joy, the thing that used to spark you, your hobbies, your passions, why are you quitting? Why are you stopping? For what? For who? Because when you're living in your purpose, when you're happy, your kids can feel it. Your husband can feel it. Your wife can feel it. They can feel the energy. It's a whole healthy environment. Everybody is thriving. But when you're resentful, when you're frustrated, when you're anxious, everybody can feel that as well. So try hard to find the balance. And don't give up your passions. Don't give up your goals. Okay? Don't do that. Try to incorporate that and balance everything out. It's hard. I ain't gonna sit here and be like, oh yeah, just go ahead and do it, because no, it's hard. You might start it, you might fail it, but you need to keep going, okay? And this also goes out to men as well. Always make sure you are living your purpose, your passions, your goals, you know. Okay, so these are the 3 factors. If you deep dive, you find out which one you fell under. So on the next session of this video, we are going to go through steps to take to help you to stop people pleasing, okay? If you thought we're gonna end this video without me giving you the steps to stop people pleasing, you gotta be kidding me. Step number 1, if somebody makes a request, the first thing you have to do is take a pause, okay? I used to be the one to quickly reply. Do not do that. Do not do that. Pause. Ask yourself, can I do this? Do I have the means to do this? Should I even be doing this? And then if you feel like you want to do it, you can do it. Go ahead and then reply. But do not rush to reply, okay? Take your time. Reflect on it first, because this is how people will ask me to do something and then I will say yes, and then a few minutes later I will be like, oh shit. For example, somebody asks you, hey, can you babysit my son for me because, you know, I have to stay late at work this day or whatever. Maybe your friend asks you that. And you go ahead and you say, oh, yes. You don't even wait and, you know, analyze. You go ahead and you just say yes. and then later you realize that that same day you were supposed to pick up your husband from work, or you were supposed to do something that you needed to do. Now you look like a clown because you said yes to someone. Now you have to choose between this person and your husband. And sometimes what people pleasers do is they actually will go with that friend that they needed to take care of their son or whatever, and then neglect their spouse. They'll neglect their wife or their husband just so they don't look bad. And guess what you're doing? You are ruining your relationship with your spouse because you put other people first. Some people even go as far as putting people first before their own kids, just so they don't look bad. Honey, if looking bad means I'm gonna be respected, my boundaries are going to be followed, I want to look bad. Please, I want to be a bad person, okay? Also know that the people who give you attitude, the people who get angry, are the people, I'm sorry to say, that you don't even need in your life anyway, most of the time, okay? So don't stress about how somebody feels after you make your decision about your life. If you cannot do something, if you cannot go on a walk, if you cannot babysit, if you cannot meet them here or there, and they get frustrated and angry, it's not your fault. It's not your problem to deal with. Trust me, people will respect you more if you're straight and honest with them. Let me ask you this. Would you prefer someone who is straightforward, tells you how it is, or someone who is a yes man? Oh, okay. Oh, yes. Okay, I'll do it. It's fine. Nah, I don't want such a person. I used to be that, and I don't even want me. I don't want me when I used to be like that. Just be straight, be honest, and if that means other people's feelings are gonna be hurt, there's nothing you can do about it, and it's not your problem to deal with, okay? And somebody stops talking to you or stop being your friend, or ends a relationship because you started setting boundaries, you started putting yourself first. Yay! Easy process of elimination. You didn't even have to do anything. You just fell off like you were shedding. Okay? Alright, so step number 2 is to stop blocking out times or days. So let's say you want to block out Sundays just for you and your family. That's fine. So Sundays, if somebody asks you to do anything, you can easily say, hey, no, Sundays I cannot do it, okay? So start making time blocks either in the day. Maybe you can say from 8 p.m. until the next morning, I'm not going to take any requests or favors from anyone, because that's my time for me, that time for my husband, that time for my family, that time for my wife. And I do not, and I'm not going to compromise that for anyone, okay? All right, so the next one, which is kind of gonna be difficult for a typical people pleaser, but it has to be done. You have to start saying no. You just have to start saying no. If somebody asks you something and you don't want to do it, you have nothing to do. Maybe somebody asks you to do something on Saturday, you have nothing to do on Saturday, but you just don't feel like doing it. You just say no. And then when you say no, don't apologize. Oh, no, I want to say no, please, I'm sorry. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just say no. That's it. No, I cannot go. I know that's difficult. So for somebody that cannot just say no, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna say, hey, let me get back to you. Hey, let me check my calendar. You go ahead, take some time, and then reply, I checked my calendar and I have stuff that I want to do, so I'm not coming. But do not apologize, okay? You do not need to apologize for being you, for wanting the things that you want, for doing the things that you want to do. How crazy that is. But we used to do it, but I used to do it. Thinking about it makes me cringy. Like, ooh, brother, ooh. Okay, and the last one, The last one is really important. If you didn't take anything from this video, the last one you need to, because the last one impacts your mental health, your physical well-being, your relationships, your family, your kids, your spouse. It's just everything, okay? And the last one is to confront issues and conflict. Confront issues and conflicts right away. Do not wait. Hey Nick, I do not appreciate how you spoke to me at the meeting. You did not allow me to express myself. You did not allow me to finish speaking, and then you decided to start talking. I felt really disrespected. Hey my love, I feel like you did not hear me out when I was trying to tell you that I felt unloved or something. Hey babe, I do not appreciate how you did not text me that you were gonna be out late last night. Hey, I appreciate my friendship with you, but I do not appreciate you making fun of me in front of the other people. And I want you to know that. See? See how easy it sounds, but then it's so hard? Trust me, you do not want to leave confrontations, because what they do is you will build up resentments and you will go home thinking about it. This even affects your sleep, because now you cannot even sleep because you're right there thinking about, oh, why did he think he could have talked to me like that? Why did this happen? I wish I had told him this. I wish I had done this. And now, no. Nip it right in the butt there and then. Say your mind, okay? Let the person know how you are feeling. Do you know how many relationships and how many marriages would have been saved if people just expressed themselves? If people just said how they truly felt. In a respectful way though, always remember, in a respectful way. If people just let it out, please let it out, please. It is hard. It sounds easy, but it's so hard. And I'm still working on it. The other day, I had an issue at work, and I was like, should I just let this person know right away, or should I just wait? I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna let the person know it. And guess what? I let them know. They apologized. Mind you, people are willing to apologize. People are willing to listen. It's not what you say, it's how you say it, my dear beloved. Alright, I think I'm talking too much, and we are going too far, okay? So this will be the end of this video. Make sure to subscribe for more. Hit the notification button. And also, if you want to watch a video about mastering detachment and never getting hurt again, click the video up below. Thank you for watching. Bye, loves.